Hello there, my name is Andrew. I live in England. If you're watching this, it's probably because you're overweight, obese, or you've got a friend or a family member who is obese as well. Now, the first part I want to make very clear is there is no shame in being overweight. There is nothing wrong with being overweight, and if you know someone who's overweight, I want you to make sure that they don't feel like there's anything wrong with it, because 1 in 3 people in the world have an overweight problem, and it's true fact. So, it's not uncommon, it's not a disease, it's not a form of you know, anything really bad. You know, it's just that you're overweight. Everyone's different. 1 in 3 people have got it. So sometimes it's because of yourself or because of glandular, or it could be any reason really. But there's only 2 reasons I don't like why people are overweight. Now the first one is people who say I'm eat because I'm depressed and I'm depressed because I eat. I think that is totally wrong. People who do eat because they're depressed are lying. They shouldn't be doing it, and I have no self-pity for anyone or pity for anybody who does, because I think it's the complete wrong. The second person who I don't like, who are fat, who use the excuse, I've had a bad upbringing, so I eat. Now, I myself haven't had the best of upbringings. It hasn't been the worst, but I've had a lot of bad things happen, which a lot of you won't ever know, because I'm not going to tell any of you, quite briefly, because it's none of your business. Now, in fact, I'll go as far as to say, when it comes to upbringings, I've had probably some of the worst things that can actually happen to a child or a young adult. Even at that. Okay, so if you're fat or overweight, or if you know someone who's overweight who uses that as an excuse, think about what's been so bad and actually realise that it's probably not that bad at all. Okay, some of you probably have, but I still don't agree to eating because of that. I'm not. You know, look at me, guys. I'm not fat. I'm 18 years old. I am not fat. I've had a bad going. You know. So the point is, guys, there are 2 things I don't like why people are fat. If they use those 2 excuses, just go away. Okay. So, okay. So moving on to the second step now is self-awareness. Some people eat and they don't realise they're eating. Now that's not a good way, obviously, and you want to get rid of that. Now the way I would do it for that myself is doing a lot of research and having family members who are overweight. I suggested coming to walks with family, because when you've got a young kid who wants to go to the park, maybe your nephew, your niece, your child, your granddaughter, your cousin maybe, I don't know, anyone who's a young person, if you've got a young person in the family, use them to your advantage, because if you're watching this as someone who's overweight or someone who is trying to help someone who's overweight, think of it like this. I'm a small child, okay? Now I'm your son, granddaughter, nephew, niece, I'm anything that you want me to be that you've got a small child of or a small person in the family of. And I come up to you and say, can we go to a walk down the park? You can't, because you'll get, you don't want to, it's too much exercise, you don't like it. I don't want to have to do that because it's too much. But please, they're going to keep doing that, and you're only going to feel bad because you can't give a child what they want, and because you know deep down that you want to, because you want to spend time with them. You don't know how long you've got left or they've got left. Live each day like it's your last. You never know what day might be your last. So maybe, that's a really good way of looking at things. Now, also you've got things like people who eat because they feel that it solves all their problems. Food doesn't solve problems. It creates problems. How many people who are overweight have survived having what's it called? I can't think of that word. It's called high cholesterol. High cholesterol. You're really having heart attacks. I don't hear of very many skinny people having heart attacks who have healthy diets. I don't mean this horribly, but to be honest, it's a very good way of looking at it. If you're overweight or helping someone who's overweight, the chances are they will have a heart attack, or you will have a heart attack. Best way to stop having a heart attack, if you're quite young, start doing exercise slowly. Don't go out and do 100-mile jogs. Just do slow walks around your street maybe, or slow jogs around your park. Just build it up, because if you do it at once, you're going to cause yourself injury, and then you'll give up. We don't want to give up. We never give up. Giving up is the worst thing you can ever do. Now, you can also do the third thing, which is a budget. You can budget your money so that you only spend a certain amount per day on chocolate or fatty foods. Now, I spend a lot of money, and I mean a lot, on chocolate and fatty foods. I do, I spend a lot of money on it. And I know it's not a very healthy diet, but what I do is I'm maintaining a level of a healthy diet next to it. So I might eat this much junk, but I also eat this much healthy food. You can see straight away there's a difference. So the line of difference makes the difference. Okay, now that's fine. You can eat as much junk as you want, but as long as you have the healthy, that little bit more. And what will hopefully happen is, the more you do it, the more you budget, the better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. Look, the junk slowly goes down, and the healthy side goes up. And that you will notice over a period of months, or maybe weeks if you're lucky. Not days. Nothing happens over days. Now, you've also got step 4, which is, this is called what I like to call the oculator, because the oculator is a very good way of looking at perspectives. Now, you can look at your life and think, right, I'm going to put this much exercise in a day, I'm going to put that much healthy in a day, I'm going to do this much walking, I'm going to do this much eating, and I'm going to do this much lounging about, I'm going to do this much working. Now, you can limit yourself to a certain amount a day, and it won't make any difference. Now, the oculator is a very good tool. It's one that I made up myself. If you've got a pen and paper, after this video, you might want to try it. Simply write down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now you space it about that much between the two of them, and I'll just, for instance, I have a pen and paper right here, for instance. Let's do it like this so you can see it. It's a very bad 5, I have to say. Okay, so that's what you're looking at. And you can't really see it. Okay, so if you compare that, you're not looking for a lot of room. Now, in your 5 spaces, I want you to fill out, first of all, E for exercise, or you can put down exercise. So 1, so you have 1 is exercise. 2, I want you to put down F for foods, for what foods you're eating. Now 3, I want you to put down D for your diet, because once you've done your foods that you're eating, you need to make the diet for it, because you need to change your diet. For number 4, I think it's quite important. This is going to be probably one of the most important. This is self-awareness. So when you put down self-awareness, or SA, because self-awareness will help you realise what you're doing wrong. As long as you always realise what you're doing wrong, it doesn't matter, because you can recorrect it. It doesn't matter how many wrongs you've got, they can all be recorrected. Number 5, I want you to put down, this is a surprise one, because I think this is really good myself. This is a big F. You see it in comparison to everything else. First of all, you see that really big one at the end? That's F. That's fun, because the whole point of losing weight should be fun. It shouldn't be hard work for you, it should be fun. So guys, we're coming to the end of my first video. If you've liked what you've seen, there's going to be a lot more learning, obviously, which a lot of people don't like, but there'll be also a lot more fun. I'm going to introduce how to have sexual fun. I'll be introducing on how to have fun with family members without hurting, because somewhere you might get chest pains when you do too much exercise. I'm going to introduce how to, even as rude as it sounds, masturbate correctly, because a lot of overweight people seem to do it wrong. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. So guys, hopefully you'll stick around for the next few episodes. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Andrew, Symes at my neck, and I hope to see you very soon. Please leave your comments and your thoughts of how this has gone for you, and tell me if you think it's good. Thanks a lot, guys, and I shall let you read or see my next vlog. Thanks a lot.